Welcome to Franchise Marketing Radio, brought to you by SEO SAMBA. Comprehensive high-performing marketing solutions for mature and emerging franchise brands. To supercharge your franchise marketing, go to SEOSAMBA.com. That's SEOSAMBA.com.
Welcome to Franchise Marketing Radio. Stone Payton Lee Cantor here with you this afternoon. Today's episode is brought to you in part by the Business Radio X Studio Partner Program, equipping franchisors to help franchisees dominate their local market. To learn more about helping more people and making more money, go to mybrxstudio.com. Lee, this is going to be a fantastic segment. Please join me in welcoming to the broadcast President with Home Clean Heroes, Mr. Joe Delatte. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Well, Joe, before we get too far into things, tell us about Home Clean Heroes. How are you serving folks?
We are a residential cleaning business. You would be familiar with the business model. We are based with Buzz Franchise Brands in Virginia Beach. We currently would be considered an emerging brand. We've got our first franchisee up and running in Williamsburg and our local performance proving operation here in Virginia Beach, where we serve 2 territories. Been operating since 2017 with that operation, and the first franchise opened in Williamsburg in November of 2019. Those guys are doing very well. They're crushing it up there.
And what makes Home Clean Heroes different than some of the other home cleaning services that are out there?
Well, a couple things would be our, the primary things that make us different. I'll start with the brand. It's the business is a proven business model, but it's kind of got the sea of sameness as far as residential cleaning business. With Home Clean Heroes, one of the things you'll find is that you won't find the word "made" anywhere in our collateral or in our brand. We take the heroic persona really to heart, and we really like to serve our customers and return their free time so they can do what is most important to them. The things as a franchise business that differentiates us, really, number one would be our focus on customer acquisition and retention. So as a parent company, Buzz Franchise Brands has a shared services division, pretty much like an in-house advertising agency, that provides direct mail service and digital marketing service, as well as website development for all of our franchisees. So that is all taken care of as part of your franchise operation. And one of the things we know is that this business needs to scale quickly. So marketing is very critical, and we build that competency, and we get the phones ringing for our franchisees. Another critical part, again, as far as the franchisee goes, is our focus on employee recruitment and training. It's very important in this business, of course, to keep your employees, the employee staff full, so you can meet your capacity. So we provide tools both for recruitment and onboarding, and techniques to retain those employees on board as well. But then the other important thing with the employees is the training process. So my background is I used to be a franchise owner myself. I knew in that business, in a home services business, it's really important to have a good, thorough training program for your employees. So we built a 7-part online video training and certification program that every one of our employees go through for their franchisee owners. So the franchisee knows then that the employee's trained thoroughly and exactly in the same way each time. So they don't have to come off of their duties to train an employee each time. And then the other thing that is really a hallmark of our business is the focus on business success for our franchisees. We spend a lot of time one-on-one coaching and nurturing. We have worked with this model to really, drive it to maximum efficiencies, so we can coach our franchisees to achieve the same kind of successes. We work with them on budget planning. We work with them on day-to-day reporting. The business analytics are a critical part of what we provide to employees or to the franchisees on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, so that they know exactly how their business is tracking. And we can work with them then to help dial in their efficiencies their routing, the important components of their business. So we know that we keep them on track and get them to profitability as quickly as we can.
Now, the person who is a good candidate as a franchisee, are they somebody who this is their first swing at franchising, or is this somebody who has maybe an existing franchise and this is a complementary kind of element to a portfolio?
Yeah, good question. It easily could be either one. The important things as far as a franchisee is that they are motivated to scale quickly. And really, I think one of the most important components is that they're passionate about the customer experience. It's not a complicated business. There are some complexities to the efficiencies and the routings, but we provide the technology and the tools to do that. So a first-time, entrepreneur, a first-time business owner could easily be an ideal candidate. They can, as long as they're focused on the fact that they want to be a business builder. This isn't. You're not going to start a Home Clean Heroes franchise to be the maid in the home cleaning. You're going to be building a business. You'll be managing your team, hiring, training, working with your customers. So a people person is a good franchisee. But again, that passion about customer service and customer experience is really important too, because at the end of the day, what you're doing is making people happy, right? You have to really appreciate the value that brings both to your customers and to your business.
Now, when you're working in the home services, how do you help the franchisee kind of maintain the relationship with the customer when it's one of their people that are going to actually be the boots on the ground in the home of your customer?
Well, one of the critical components of our process is every relationship starts with an in-home estimate. Our focus is on recurring customers. This business model is a recurring revenue business model. So we want to start that relationship off on a very good, strong note for a couple of reasons. One, we want to get to know the homeowner. We want them to get to know the owner or the office manager, the person that they're going to be having the relationship with from the office side. So the office manager or owner will visit the home, meet the customer, but also spend a lot of time walking through the home, evaluating it from a couple of different perspectives. One, how long is it going to take to clean this home? What's my cost going to be in terms of employee cost, labor costs in cleaning the home? But two, what are the critical needs that the customer has? We call them hot buttons. What are the hot buttons that this customer, either has not been pleased with from a cleaning service before, or is just something that, they're very passionate about within their home? We want to make sure we get every ceiling fan dusted every time. We are careful around, the priceless antiques or whatever it may be. So those are all recorded in our field management software system. And this is really the tool that provides, sort of the conduit that answers your question. The technology system that we use to schedule, route, bill, manage each account is a tracking system for this relationship. So every time a cleaning team goes into that customer's home, they know what those hot buttons are. They know what the conversation was with the customer day one, and they know what they need to do in order to keep that customer happy each time we service their home. And then there's another piece to this system that's really unique, and it's a three-way texting portal. So what happens is we will send a text to every customer before we, on the day of service, and actually a couple days before. If it's a Monday, it'll come out on a Friday, and then again on a Sunday. Hey, we're going to show up at the house. The customer responds to that text. That text thread actually becomes part of their account. So it's a conversation, right? The text thread goes both to the cleaner and to the office manager, as well as the customer. So it's a three-way conversation. So that relationship actually is an ongoing conversation, not just the one time, that the cleaner can refer to each time. And that's how, this thread and this relationship just continues to grow and evolve with that ongoing conversation. The cleaning specialists, we like to call them grind fighters, can refer back to that thread. They can see what the history is of the conversation, make sure that we're dealing with the same, problems or hotspots or service components each time they go in the house. So it's a really unique way to serve and stay in touch with customers.
Now, but again, the relationship can easily manifest itself where the person that's doing the cleaning is the one that is spending the most time with the customer. And the franchisee, if they don't have some sort of a way to check in or to, stay in contact in a meaningful manner, then you're relying on that person that's in the house as the one, if they screw up or if something happens, as humans have something happen,
Sure.
that the franchisee takes the hit, because of the lost account. So how do you kind of create these kind of moments or at least opportunities for the franchisee to stay plugged in a way that isn't, tricky?
Couple different ways. One way that we provide from the franchisor side, from the corporate side, is a relationship with third party. It's really an online relationship manager as well as a customer satisfaction survey component. So after every first clean, that customer will get an email survey from us asking us how we did. And it's a net promoter score system. So they're ranking 1 through 10, how their service was, 10 being the best. So that's the beginning of a tracking of their customer satisfaction through this survey system. In addition, as part of our process, the office manager owner is going to telephone, going to call back into that customer and follow up on that service as well. So that's the initial service. Every quarter, another one of these customer satisfaction email surveys is going to go out to each recurring customer, so that it's served from the actual franchisee. It's a corporate relationship, but it's coming out from the local franchise. So the franchisee is seeing these surveys. They're going over them with their cleaning team. Again, it's kind of that closing the loop of here's what the customer is saying back to me, to the cleaning team. So we know we're dealing with, any problem areas, or they're getting, the right kind of acknowledgement for a job well done as well. And then, as far as the franchisee's process as well, there's a quarterly phone call that goes back into every customer as well, so that, we've got that ongoing, touch and conversation, because you're right. It's a critical part of this business model. You've got to give the customer the conduit back to the owner or the office manager, so what their perception of the service is. If not, you can just be humming along thinking everything's okay, but customers don't like to complain if they don't have a way to provide feedback. They'll just, if something's not going right, it'll just kind of manifest itself into, over the course of time, a bad impression of the company, and before you know it, that customer just disappears. So we take these special steps to make sure that that communication stays open, and the customer feels like they can get back to us with any kind of feedback. We want it. We need it.
Right. And this is something that differentiates you from other franchises that are in this space, as well as kind of the mom and pop, just the person that's an individual that's out there doing this. You're proactively looking for interaction, as opposed to most people who try to avoid any interaction because they might get bad news. So you're trying to kind of nip things in the bud rather than letting them fester.
Exactly. We don't want those festering wounds. We want to know exactly what's going on with our cleaning team, so that they can get better if that's what's needed to be done.
Now, you mentioned that part of the being a good franchisee is someone who is kind of this empire builder that wants to grow something, that doesn't just want a job. How do you kind of go about identifying that person? Are there clues or there breadcrumbs that these people leave that you can kind of identify them and make them aware of this opportunity?
Well, if we look for somebody who's passionate about the business, who really, you can tell they're an entrepreneur. They want to belong to the process of building a brand, building a business. There's a service component to it as well. There's a difference between somebody who just expects to show up to work, and someone who knows that this is going to belong to me. This is going to be something that I'm going to drive. Whether they intend to be the hands-on office manager or an owner who's building franchises and hiring that person to make those decisions. They know how to make those decisions and manage those kinds of people. A frontline people manager is an important skill too, because you manage a different, kind of person than you may if you're coming out of a white collar, a corporate America job. And now you've got a team of frontline people that you're managing. There's a different way to relate to them. And we've got the experience to help, franchisees learn that. It's a learnable, understandable process. So it's something that, most people who have a bit of business savvy and, have the ability to relate to people can do. And we're going to help them with that as well.
So now, are there parts of the country you're aiming this at? You mentioned, where you're at in kind of Virginia Beach. Are you looking to kind of create some clusters around that, or are you going on the East Coast? Where are you looking to expand to?
And that's one of the beauties about Home Clean Heroes would be called an emerging brand because we're fairly new in the space, but the business model's proven. And more importantly, Buzz Franchise Brands has experience, launching over hundreds of franchise operations through our current franchise. And we used to be the owner of Mosquito Joe as well. So the original owners of Mosquito Joe. So our team has launched a lot of franchises. We really have a footprint that's nationwide. We have the ability, and we've built this company to scale quickly. So we have the resources to operate in any state. As far as, the kind of markets that are the best for a residential cleaning service. They're the ones with, larger populations. So the metros, in basically any geographic area of the country works. The beauty of this business model is it's year round recurring revenue. For the most part, your employees are working in the home. So it's pretty weatherproof or weather resistant. So, in just about any, larger market, we've got the potential to plant a flag at any point in time.
Now, for you, what's the most rewarding part about kind of growing a emerging franchise like this?
The most important thing, the most rewarding thing is seeing people succeed. So being, the entity that helps somebody realize their dreams, build wealth for their family, build a brand within their community that becomes known, that provides financial security and a future for them and their family. That's easily the most rewarding thing. I'm a builder. I like to build things. When I owned my own home services franchise, that was my goal. That's what made me happy. Was seeing the operation grow, seeing it become known within the community, and just the brand awareness and recognition. So I really enjoy, and my team really enjoys seeing our franchisees reach that and achieve that in the market.
And then what attracted you to Buzz?
Well, a lot of things, the success of the company. But I can tell you the model here with Buzz Franchise Brands, with all of our brands and Home Clean Heroes in particular, is one of nurturing and coaching the franchisee. I was offered the opportunity to build this on a national scale. The leadership team and the development team, Buzz Franchise Brands, and what they did with Mosquito Joe was the model for what we've built with Home Clean Heroes. But for a franchisee, as I was when I was a franchisee, I needed the coaching and the connection with the business model, both for helping me to train my employees and to know when the right times were to make the right moves within the business. So, we've got that culture of establishing that it's a franchise business coach. That's the title. It's the person that we have in place. Every 20 franchisees has a franchise business coach that they work with directly. And, we work with them on a daily basis to make sure their business continues to grow and evolve properly.
Now, you mentioned that as a franchisee in a market, the brand or the franchisor handles a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the launch and kind of the attraction of business. is that launch forever, or is this something that is for a period of time and then at some point it becomes the responsibility of the franchisee to take over that element of maintaining and growing the business?
Yeah, two different pieces of it, I guess. The launch and the whole entire ramp up piece of it, heavy operation component to that, right? So our franchise business coaches work day to day from the day you sign your franchise agreement through a 63 item checklist that starts with, items like your business license, your location, if you're going to be located in a commercial location, every particular bit of your business, your LLC, your corporate entity, whatever it might be. So everything's is in a checklist ready to go, turnkey. So we've got everything set up to start you up, including dropping an entire startup kit of equipment materials that will outfit your first 2 vehicles and teams on your doorstep 30 days before you open. You're ready to go. So that's all packaged, processed, ready to go. As far as the marketing pieces of it, that is ongoing. And, the big components from the corporate end are a very comprehensive, targeted direct mail program that all of our franchisees participate in. They'll drop direct mail to their targeted households in their franchise territory 3 to 5 times a year based on the strategy and the budget. Digital advertising component. So it's display, search, marketing, and SEO, search engine optimization, that are executed by our shared services team here at Buzz Franchise Brand. The website is set up, ready to go day one. SEO is already in place and functioning. The search campaigns are in place, ready to go, so that you're found when somebody searches for a home cleaning company or whatever it is that may be searching for. And that is mapped out and planned on an annual basis and executed on a daily basis for the entirety of your franchise agreement.
And how many kind of customers can a franchisee handle?
It's easy to scale. So it's just a matter of how big the franchisee wants to get. Within a territory, a good target would be 300 to 350 recurring customers over on an ongoing basis, 300 to 350 customers. We operate in territories with 35 to 45,000 targeted households. Those are zip code defined. So within each individual territory, 35 to 45,000 customers. So if you've got 350 recurring customers, you've got a 1% market share. And that can build you up to $1 million business.
Wow. So that is very enticing for a lot of people. So I guess the sky's the limit for you guys.
Yeah, it's easy to scale. As you grow, you add 2 employees in a vehicle. Each vehicle's got 2 employees in it. Background checked, insured, uniformed, professionally trained, ready to go. And as your business grows, you get to the point where that team is full, reaching their milestones. Add another team, add another couple vacuum cleaners in the equipment, and off they go. So yeah, it scales quickly and easily.
And it sounds like you're handling most of the things that would be a hurdle or a hassle for most of the operators.
Yeah, that's our goal, is to make the entire, especially startup experience turnkey. So it's a great opportunity. And I'll mention one other thing too. We're fairly early in the process of launching franchises, well down the road of being built and scaled and ready to go. But there is a special program in place as far as franchise fee discounts for what we call our first 5 franchisees. So our inaugural league, we call them, of our franchisees. There's a $20,000 discount off of the franchise fee. So it's something that definitely, if you're interested in this space, this kind of business model, I would encourage people to at least talk to us about.
Good stuff. And if somebody wanted to have a more substantive conversation, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Easy thing there's an email address that's an easy one to remember, leads@homecleanheroes.com. That'd be one way. You can also go to our website, homecleanheroesfranchise.com. As soon as you pull that up, you'll see a request franchise info form right on the home page. Fill that out. It'll go directly to our franchise development director, and you'll get a call.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story today, Joe.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks very much for the time.
All right. This is Lee Cantor for Stone Payton. We will see you all next time on Franchise Marketing Radio.